right now. I decided to go live. I don't know how many people will be on here. It's okay if it's just a replay for later. But I was thinking about I had a really good conversation earlier with a brand new wholesaler. That's what we do is we wholesale real estate, and I'm in real estate investing. And I had a conversation about how he doesn't really have trouble having conversations. He'll have really good conversations, sometimes talk to people for an hour, but he finds that the conversations don't really lead anywhere. It don't lead to an offer. Sometimes he doesn't even know why they're selling, when they're selling, and the price range of the property. And I just wanted to, I gave him some advice, and I thought that I could share that with you guys today. So the biggest part of this, I mean, it could be many things that's happening, but one of the top things that I find is that you're not setting your agenda properly. Your agenda is what you're talking when you first get on the phone. It's who you are, it's what you're doing, and it's asking for permission to have a conversation. That's the agenda. And most people completely skip that part. Most people, let's say you're doing a cold call. You say who you are, you ask if they're interested, then you just start bombarding them with questions. I call it the 48 hour effect. I think that's what it's called 48 hours, I think, on A&E, the show where the police sit down and interrogate the suspect, and they try to get the suspect to admit that they murdered somebody, right? And that's what we do. We go into interrogation. But if you go back and you watch that show, guys, it's kind of funny because, they don't just start off by asking questions. First, they sit down and they say, hey, would you like any food? Would you like a drink? Like the old fashioned thing. Would you like a cigarette? Right. And they get the person comfortable. The suspect, they get them comfortable. They get them, the conversation gets flowing. Then eventually they come out with it. They admit what they did, and then they have a strong case. So, I want you guys to approach this the same way. You got to start off with your agenda. You have to say, hey, my name's Travis. I don't know if you're interested, but I'm looking to buy a property in the neighborhood. I was just calling to see if you ever thought about selling, and it's okay if you haven't. And then once they say, "Yeah, sure, I'd be interested," say, "Great, well, would it be okay if maybe we asked each other some questions now? Instead of just interrogating you about the roof, the HVAC, is it okay if we talk about it now?" That's the agenda. And oh, and by the way, no hard feelings if I give you an offer and you completely say no to me. You can fire me, kick me to the curb, whatever you got to do. Right, and that goes back to lowering the pressure in the conversation with the seller. Going back to the 48, hour show. They wanna set them down, they wanna get them comfortable, they wanna give them some food, some cigarettes, some drinks. That gets the conversation flowing, and that's what you guys wanna do. You wanna get the conversation flowing so you can ask the important questions, because, usually when we go through these conversations and it leads nowhere, it's because people still need to think about it. They need to talk to their husbands, their wives, there's stuff they have to do first. So when we're setting our agenda, we need to ask these questions like, decision makers. Are there any other decision makers involved today? If I give you an offer today and you're totally comfortable with it, is there anybody else that has to say yes to this, right? And if so, can we get these people involved now instead of trying to get them involved, on the next call or 6 months from now when I call you back? Oh, and by the way, now that, all the decision makers are present, is there anything else stopping us from moving forward? Is there anything you guys need to do? Does it need to go through probate? Do you need to talk to your lawyer first? You guys need to get these objections at the beginning of the conversation versus waiting an hour or 2 hours in to figure this out at the end. So that's setting your agenda. So again, guys, you want to, set your agenda, say who you are, why you're calling. Is it okay if we talk about it now? You can ask me questions, I can ask you questions, and no hard feelings if nothing comes from this. This is the way that I take the pressure away from the call with these sellers. So I hope that helped. I hope you guys got some value out of this. If you did, please like, follow, subscribe, and I'll do these videos more. I really appreciate you guys and checking me out. I see I got some people in the chat. It looks like a lot of you guys might be from another country. But yeah, I'm Travis Goodwin, and I'm co-founder of Small Market REI. That's small market real estate investing. As far as I know, we're the only community that's based for small market real estate investors across the United States of America. And that is populations and cities under 300,000 people. So if you guys are out here and you're in a small market and you're on an island all alone and you're looking for a community of people just like you that you can do deals with, you can get advice from, give me a call, text me 304-444-6744, and I'd love to send you guys like a personal invitation to my group, and maybe we can work together. But all right, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Thanks.